Okay, so everyone get ready because today's deep dive is going to take us a little bit off the beaten path.
Ah.
You know how everyone always talks about Silicon Valley and Beijing when it comes to AI?
Right, right.
Well, get this. We're heading to Gansu.
Gansu.
Yeah, Gansu. It's a province in northwest China that might just become like a major player in the AI game.
Wow, that's not one you hear every day. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, me too. And we're diving into an article called, get this, Why Gansu's Strategic Position and Resources Make It a Rising Hub for AI Innovation.
Okay.
It's published pretty recently, November 25, 2024, on TATANKA.pdf.
Got it.
This article lays out count 'em five, key factors that make Gansu such an interesting case study.
I'm ready.
Seriously, I was taking notes left and right. So many wait, really moments?
I bet. I mean, Gansu, it's not the first place that comes to mind when you think cutting-edge AI.
I know, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's unpack this first point. Silk Road to AI superhighway.
Ooh.
Right. So the article points out that Gansu was, like a major stop on the ancient Silk Road.
Yeah.
And it argues that this historical significance is actually relevant in today's interconnected world.
Interesting.
But is that just like a clever metaphor? Or is there actually something more to it?
It's definitely more than just a metaphor. Think about it. China's Belt and Road Initiative.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That massive project that aims to boost, connectivity and cooperation across Asia, Europe, and Africa.
Huge undertaking.
Exactly. And guess what? Gansu sits right in the heart of it.
Wow. So we're not just talking about historical symbolism here.
Yep.
It's actual geographic advantage.
Exactly. Gansu could be like a vital hub in a global AI network. Imagine research flowing from Beijing, connecting with manufacturing in Europe,
Yeah.
all facilitated by Gansu's location and its existing transportation infrastructure.
So it's like the ancient Silk Road is being transformed into a modern-day data superhighway.
I like it. And don't forget, it's all powered by its own renewable energy resources, too.
Oh, right. Speaking of energy, that's the second factor the article highlights. Gansu has an abundance of renewable energy resources, especially wind and solar power in the Hexi corridor, which, by the way, if you didn't know, is a 1,000-kilometer-long stretch of land in Gansu, known for its arid climate and abundant sunshine.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures. It's beautiful.
It is. But why is this such a big deal, a game changer even for AI?
Well, AI, especially like the training of complex models, takes a ton of energy.
Yeah.
I mean, data centers and supercomputers are notorious energy hogs. But Gansu's renewable energy infrastructure could allow it to develop a very sustainable, and this is key, cost-effective AI industry.
Yeah.
Which is a huge EE advantage in a world that's increasingly concerned about the environmental impact of technology. Really.
For sure. It's like having a built-in advantage, an AI ecosystem that's not only cutting edge, but also environmentally friendly. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Now, the article also mentions the Chinese government's role in all of this. It's not just about the resources Gansu has. There's a definite strategic push happening, right?
Absolutely. The government sees AI as a key part of their national development strategy. And they're investing heavily in Gansu to make it a reality. Financial incentives for AI companies, support for building the necessary infrastructure, both digital and physical, and the creation of innovation hubs, all designed to create a thriving AI sector.
It sounds like they're building an entire ecosystem, not just, throwing money at random projects.
Exactly. A very deliberate and strategic approach.
This brings us to the fourth factor. And this one honestly really surprised me. The article argues that Gansu's unique environment, with its arid landscapes and susceptibility to sandstorms, is actually an advantage when it comes to AI development.
Now that's interesting.
I know, right?
It's like how limitations can actually spark innovation.
Gansu's environment presents these very specific problems.
And AI can be used to solve them. And these solutions, they could have global implications because, let's be honest, a lot of regions around the world share these same challenges.
Oh, for sure.
It's not unique to Gansu.
Okay, but give me some examples. How is AI being applied to these real-world challenges in Gansu?
Okay, so picture this. Drones,
Okay.
equipped with AI,
What?
flying over Gansu's farmlands, analyzing soil conditions and weather patterns to tell farmers exactly how much water each section needs. Super precise.
Wow.
This level of precision not only helps conserve water in an arid region, but it also maximizes crop yields. which is essential in a place like Gansu.
That's incredible. So they're basically taking these environmental constraints and turning them into a catalyst for innovation.
Yeah.
And this kind of tech, it could be applied in so many other places.
Exactly. And it's not just about farming either. AI can be used to improve water distribution systems, predict and even help mitigate the effects of those sandstorms we talked about, and even manage the delicate ecosystem of the Hexi corridor. It's like they're building an AI-powered toolkit for environmental resilience.
That's amazing.
Right.
Okay, so we've got the strategic location, the renewable energy, government support, and unique environmental challenges driving innovation.
It's a pretty compelling combination.
It is. But you can't have innovation without people, right?
Of course not. The human element is crucial.
Which brings us to the fifth and final factor the article highlights: building the AI brains.
Yeah, they're not just focusing on the tech itself.
Right.
Gansu is investing heavily in education and talent development.
Right.
Institutions like Gansu University are becoming centers for AI research and training,
Oh, cool.
attracting top talent through scholarships and partnerships with, big industry leaders.
So they're cultivating the next generation of AI experts right there in Gansu.
Exactly. It's a long-term vision, for sure, but it's already producing results.
It all sounds pretty amazing.
It is, but I know what you're thinking. It's a little abstract, right? All these factors and trends.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, lucky for us, the article does a great job of making it real, human. It features a really interesting story about a young AI researcher named Lu Wei, who went to Gansu to lead a groundbreaking AI project in the Hexi corridor.
Interesting.
His experience brings all those factors we've been talking about together and shows how they're actually playing out in the real world.
Okay, now we're talking. Was he like a true believer in Gansu from the start, or did Gansu kind of win him over?
Well, Lu Wei was from Shanghai, which, as you know, is like a bustling tech hub.
Right, yeah.
And he was, to be honest, pretty skeptical about Gansu's potential in the field of AI.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's easy to think all the exciting stuff happens in those big cities.
Exactly. But when Lu Wei arrived in Gansu, he was immediately struck by the energy and the ambition of the place. It wasn't what he expected at all. He found himself working in a state-of-the-art AI hub in Lanzhou.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Powered, of course, by all that wind and solar we talked about earlier.
So they're really walking the walk when it comes to sustainability.
Totally. Not just talking about it.
Did he find himself surrounded by other talented people, researchers?
He did. And he was really impressed by the local expertise, particularly on those unique environmental challenges of the region.
Yeah, that makes sense. So his team was focused on applying AI to those very specific problems.
Absolutely. But you know what? Let's hear more about his journey in part 2 of this deep dive.
Sounds good to me. I'm hooked.
One of their main projects involved those drones we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, the ones with the AI-powered sensors.
Exactly.
To, map out the Hexi corridor?
Yes. They used them to map and analyze vast stretches of the Hexi corridor. And this data was then used to create these, incredibly detailed models of the landscape.
Wow.
The vegetation, the water resources. It's really impressive.
So they're basically creating, a digital twin of the Hexi corridor using AI.
You got it.
That's so cool. But what's the, practical application of that? What can they actually DO with this digital twin?
Well, for one thing, it allowed them to develop a really sophisticated irrigation system. Think of it like this. The AI analyzes all that data from the drones, combines it with weather forecasts, soil readings, and then tells the farmers exactly how much water each section of their fields needs.
So precise.
It is. And this kind of precision agriculture, it not only conserves water, which is obviously crucial in a place as dry as Gansu,
Right.
but it also optimizes crop yields.
Makes sense.
Which is, essential for the region.
It's like they're taking these environmental limitations and using them to push innovation forward.
Totally. And, this kind of technology, it could have applications way beyond Gansu.
Oh, I bet. Anywhere with water scarcity issues.
Exactly. Lu Wei, he realized that too. He saw that the solutions they were developing in Gansu could be adapted to help other regions facing similar challenges.
Globally, even.
Yeah, totally. Whether it's other parts of China, Central Asia, even parts of the U.S. struggling with drought.
That's really cool. It really highlights how Gansu could become a global leader in these sustainable AI solutions. So did his team just focus on irrigation? Or were there other projects they were working on?
They tackled a lot, but one that stands out is their work on sandstorms.
Oh, right. Those are a big problem in Gansu.
Huge. They can be incredibly destructive. Damage to crops, infrastructure, even human health.
It must be really tough to predict those kinds of storms.
It is. But Loué's team, they developed a machine learning model that analyzes a ton of data. Weather patterns, satellite imagery, ground sensor readings.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
It is. But this model, get this, it was able to predict sandstorms with like a really high degree of accuracy.
That's amazing.
It is. It gave local communities valuable time to prepare, which really helped to mitigate the damage.
So they're literally using AI to save lives and livelihoods.
Powerful stuff, right?
It's a great example of how AI can be a force for good in the world, not just like a cool tech thing.
For sure. And, this project, it also required a deep understanding of the local ecosystem, the specific challenges faced by people in the Hexi corridor. It wasn't just like a bunch of tech experts swooping in with solutions.
No, they had to actually understand the region and the people.
Exactly. They worked closely with local communities,
Makes sense.
gathering their knowledge and insights to make sure the AI solutions they developed were actually effective and relevant to the people they were designed to help.
So it was a real collaboration.
Yeah.
Technology, A&D tradition coming together.
Precisely. And that, I think, is a really important model for how we should approach AI development in general, not as a top-down imposition of technology,
Right.
but as a collaborative process that really takes into account local knowledge, needs, and values.
I like that. It's about making tech work for people, not the other way around.
Exactly. I'm curious, though, what about Liu Wei? What happened after his time in Gansu? Did he just go back to Shanghai?
Good question. What happened next?
He did eventually return to Shanghai, but not before becoming a passionate advocate for Gansu's potential in the AI world.
Oh, that's great.
He really wanted to change people's perceptions. He started sharing his experiences, encouraging other researchers, investors, to look beyond the usual tech hubs.
To see what Gansu had to offer.
Yes, to recognize the talent and the opportunities that were kind of hidden there.
It's amazing how one person's experience can have such a ripple effect.
I know. And it really makes this whole story more human, don't you think? Gansu's AI rise, it's not just about numbers and forecasts.
Right. It's about the people.
Exactly. People like Liu Wei who are using their talents to solve real-world problems and create a better future.
Not just for Gansu, but for everyone.
Exactly. It really shows that innovation can happen anywhere.
It doesn't have to be Silicon Valley or Beijing.
Right. And sometimes those unexpected places are the ones leading the way.
So where do we go from here? What's the key takeaway from Gansu's story?
I think it challenges our assumptions about, where innovation happens.
Yeah.
It shows that a region with unique challenges, even challenges that seem insurmountable, they can become unexpected leaders by focusing on sustainability, inclusivity, and practical solutions.
It's a new model for technological development.
It is ambitious, A&D responsible. But what does this all mean for the rest of us? Practically speaking.
I think Gansu's story, it speaks to a broader trend of decentralization in the tech world.
Interesting.
For the longest time, we've associated innovation with just a handful of places. Silicon Valley, Beijing, London.
Right, the usual suspect.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
we're seeing it pop up in places you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And it's being driven by a few things, like government support, access to talent, and the unique needs and challenges of specific regions.
So the playing field's kind of leveling out.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, the rise of remote work, tech becoming more affordable, and this growing awareness of sustainability and inclusivity,
Right.
it's all playing a part.
Yeah.
And it's not just AI either. We're seeing it in renewable energy,
Yeah.
biotech, even space exploration.
That's exciting. So, the future of tech, it's going to be way more diverse and distributed than we thought.
Exactly. And you know what else is driving this trend?
What's that?
The fact that innovation thrives on diversity. When you have people from all different backgrounds, different perspectives and experiences coming together to solve problems,
Yeah.
you get more creative, more innovative solutions.
It's the more minds, the better.
Right. And this is where places like Gansu, they have a real advantage.
How so?
They offer a different context, a different set of challenges and opportunities that can spark totally new ideas and approaches. And they often have this strong sense of community and collaboration,
I see.
which can create a much more supportive and productive environment for innovation to flourish.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's
Yeah.
the people, the culture, the entire ecosystem.
Exactly. And I think investors, policymakers, entrepreneurs, they're starting to realize this.
They're waking up.
They're looking beyond those traditional hubs, recognizing that the next big breakthrough could come from well, anywhere.
It's almost like the spirit of adventure is back in the tech world.
It is. This willingness to explore, to embrace the unexpected.
And that's what makes this such an exciting time to be, following all this.
It is. The future of tech, it's wide open.
Good.
And it's being shaped by this more diverse, dynamic group of players than ever before.
And that's a good thing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to think about all the positive changes that could come from this. So to wrap things up, Gansu's story, it's a powerful reminder
Of what?
that innovation can happen anywhere. And sometimes those most unexpected places, they end up leading the way.
I love that. So, to everyone listening, what do you think? Where will the next big innovation come from? Keep your eyes peeled because it could be just around the corner. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.